So, if you've still got kids in car seats, this ain't it. This ain't it, but like this isn't even locking into place. When I do lock it into place, I can't tighten it up, and it's not great. The lower latch points though can be attached easily and there, but now I can't get underneath it. I can't get back behind it. You were almost there, Ford. Like, you were so close. Hey, Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
Back there is Tucker.
Yep, that's me.
And we are in the last of the mid-size pickup trucks for us to test. This is a, well, we'll go ahead and say it, a 2024, though nothing has really changed for 2025. Ford Ranger Lariat FX4, the most luxurious with off-road capability mid-size pickup truck that Ford offers. And how has it been for our family of three in our week's worth of testing? Stay tuned to find out. All right, Holly, we've had this one for a week now. We've been living with it, getting really comfortable, running errands, doing our normal thing. But my first question to you is, what do you think of the exterior styling since they've updated it? You and I were at Camp Ranger when they unveiled it.
Yep.
What do you think of the look of the new Ranger?
I liked it then. I like it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like that it feels like, it kind of feels like a bulldog, right? Like short and muscular feeling.
Not as much as the Raptor version that's turning out
not
in
as
front
much
of
as the
us,
Raptor version, of course. But it's like its little brother.
Yes.
Its little sister. Not sister.
Sibling. Well, we got to be.
That's true.
Yeah. They wanted it to be a baby F-150 because a lot of global markets don't get the F-150. So this is the global F-150. So much so that they're unveiling a Super Duty version for overseas markets, which we don't need here because we do have.
We do have the big one, the F-150s. But yeah, I can see that. And I like the styling of the F-150. And I think if you're looking for a truck that's more mid-size, but looks like a truck and doesn't look like an SUV turned into a truck, this looks like that.
I have to ask you, because I've got strong opinions on the matter, now that we've tested every mid-sizer, from exterior only, what is your looks preference of the bunch? You've got Toyota Tacoma, Chevy Colorado, GMC Canyon, Nissan Frontier, Honda Ridgeline, and this.
Just from the looks?
Yeah.
Not from anything else?
Nothing else. Purely looks.
Well, it's really hard to choose.
Yeah.
But I would say my tops are this one, the Tacoma, and the Colorado.
Okay.
Those are my top three.
Okay. All right. Moving inside, what are your thoughts in here?
I was surprised when I got it.
Okay.
I don't know that was a good surprise. The outside, I guess maybe because it is pulling off of like an F-150 or like something like that. I was just expecting it like to be a little bit, it's not a bad thing, but like more luxurious. Maybe like a King Ranch. And I don't know why I was expecting that. So it's not like it's a bad thing, but I was just like, oh, this was not what I was expecting.
Okay.
And so a lot of my opinions on this truck, I feel like are going to be affected by the cost, which I feel like is more affordable than like a King Ranch.
Yes.
So it's not a bad interior. They have done a few things that give it some interest points that I think, like the different shape of the air plates here. That's really cool. And they all like shift. I think that's really cool. I just really like that. I like this little shelf that's right there. I think the main thing is, you've got the shelf right there.
3 levels of storage.
I think the main thing is that it's just all black. You've got the gloss black, which we don't really like up here, but it's not really anywhere else, so that's good. I just think there's a few more things. This is a gray thing right here, which is nice. Yeah, crossed over there. So I like those little pieces. I just think there could be a little bit more for it to be interesting, but if it's like
we should get
a cost factor, if it's a cost factor, I get that. So
Raptor's got all the code orange accents that I think you would like, and suede, and suede, and suede. But
probably cost more.
Yes.
Okay.
but still kind of a bargain in the segment.
I've got a little lipstick cubby hole right here.
You know what this works really well for?
What?
I always hide it on the floor here because we use it to record.
My lipstick
my iPad mini fits there perfectly. Look at that.
Oh, is that what we need? Screen and screen?
Yeah, screen on screen.
See, look, here we go. My little perfect little thing. Oh, no. Yeah, there we go. See?
Yeah, there you go.
How nice.
We've got Qi wireless charger, a little bit of rubberized storage here, cup holders, decent sized center console.
Oh, that didn't work well.
There it goes.
Never mind. Scratch that.
We already talked about the tri-level storage here. Storage in the doors. Sunglass storage up here. There's even storage under the seat back there, but there's some drawbacks to that back seat. Tucker, what do you think we need to talk about now?
Putting in my child safety seat.
And then I'll talk about some of the pros and cons of the back seat in this one. Before I put Tucker's Graco Extend Fit child safety seat in, I want to talk about back seats of midsize pickup trucks because I do believe outside of the Honda Ridgeline, this is the best. So of your traditional body on frame midsize pickup trucks, this one is the best. Its competition being the Chevy Colorado GMC Canyon, the Nissan Frontier, and the Toyota Tacoma. This one wins on all counts for me, but it is not perfect, and we'll talk about all of that. First, there's no B-pillar mounted handle, but you do have a ceiling mounted handle right here. We do have running boards on our particular model, which does make it fairly easy to climb up and in. When I do get in though, I have plenty of room behind where I was sitting at 5'10". You can see this is where the driver's seat was while I was driving. So plenty of room back here. We have storage pockets on the back of both front seats. We've got a little hard plastic storage here. We've got a USB-C, a USB-A, and a household style plug. 120 volt, 400 watt max right there. We do have a center hump right here for the back seat. So if you did have 3 passengers back here, you're going to be doing that foot dance where you're kind of straddling that hump. But we do have a fold down center armrest, which I really like. You can see it actually locks into place. So you do have to tug on the strap to get to it. All of that is really good. We also have a repeat of the door handles from up front. We have some additional storage there in the doors. It is a fairly good back seat, and I've got decent headroom back here as well. But we're gonna go ahead now and slide out and talk about, well, what I don't like so much about this. We do have lower latch points on the 2 outboard seats, nothing in the middle, so that's not too unusual. We do have under seat storage, though things I don't like about this, it is 100%. So it's either all or nothing. And when we have Tucker's child seat in place, you're going to see why this is a problem, because we do have decent under seat storage down here. But again, having Tucker's child seat in place, that will be a problem because you won't be able to get to any of it with a child seat fixed. It's also a lock in place with these 2 straps. So to lift it or lower it, you do have to pull those straps. I will say it is an easier method than what Chevy and GMC use with their side mounted lever that you have to lift up on. But I like how the full-size trucks from Chevrolet do it, where you don't have to do anything. You also have a fold-down seat back here. I'm going to have to move this seat forward to fold it completely flat. But a lot of people have complained Chevy and GMC ditched the fold-down seat back when they went to the new body style, and a lot of people miss this because it gives you a flat load-in area that isn't going to damage your seats or anything. So a lot of people miss this, and you can see we do have some fun Easter eggs like this. Ranger since 1983 right here on the back of the bulkhead. But while I have this seat folded, you might be able to tell exactly why I don't like car seats in this pickup truck, and that is because the mounting points are on the back bulkhead here behind the seat backs, and that is just not my preferred method. The Honda Ridgeline mounts down on the side. Many other pickup trucks have better options than this, but this and Toyota Tacoma and Nissan Frontier, all 3 do require you to fold the seat back down. And you had to really slam it to get it in place. It is also a 100% situation here. So if you're having to put in 2 car seats and juggle and dance with getting them in and out, that's a problem. You also can only fold it down from the passenger side over here. I've tried doing it from the driver's side and it is a long reach. So just some things I've noted from living with this one. It is not the best. It's easier to get it in than get it out, but those are some of the strengths and weaknesses of this back seat. But we will get his Graco Extend-A-Fit child safety seat. Same one he rode in when he was rearward facing. And yes, no surprise, I am going to have to move that front seat forward in order to give it the space it needs. But unlike the Chevy Colorado, which even on the top trim that we recently had, the ZR2 Bison, we have a power passenger seat here that isn't offered on the Colorado at all. So this is a win over the competition from Chevy. And then climbing in here, you can see we do get an 8-pillar mounted handle, and my shins may be close to the dash, but my feet have plenty of place to go. So it is not a terrible place to be up here. I do have the rubberized storage there. I've got this glove box and this glove box, though can't really open it. I've got decent storage and space up here. I'm not gonna have to ride this way forever. Kids don't ride rear facing forever, but it's nice to know that there is enough space that my knees aren't in the dash, even when the car seat is rear facing, such as this. But we'll go ahead now, turn it around, and this is my least favorite part of putting in child seats in pickup trucks with this bulkhead top tether location. I don't like it. I will say it is very easy to see exactly where it is, and then we're gonna just kind of snug that up and slam that into place. You really got to slam it into place. So let's see here. Come on. There we go. Now it's in. We're gonna leave this out so that I can tighten it down after we get the seat in place. But you can see it's already, yep, it's already a problem because it does not want to tighten with that seat belt or with the seat locked into place. It is, I don't like it. I don't like this car seat installation method at all. It is not good. It's not my favorite. I don't like it. They've got to figure out something different. And you can see that it isn't even latched in place. Like, I don't like it. If you haven't figured out. So if you've still got kids in car seats, this ain't it. This ain't it. I know I would get to be a pro at it after some time, but like, this isn't even locking into place. When I do lock it into place, I can't tighten it up, and it's not great. The lower latch points, though, you are exposed, so I can, in theory, get to those very easily. Let's see, in practice, got that one. Get that seatbelt receiver out of the way, and can I lock this one in without driving myself insane? Yes. So those can be attached easily and there, but now I can't get underneath it. I can't get back behind it. You were almost there, Ford. Like, you were so close. Do a 60-40 split here. Figure out a different seatbelt method. Do like what you have in the F-150, where it actually mounts down here. And you're golden. You fixed all of my complaints back here, because other than child seats, I'd say this is the best in the segment. So really do like it until we start talking child seats. And then we want to come back and talk tailgate. We have an extremely damped tailgate here because you can see it has a gas strut holding it up. We've got the Tough Bed Spray In bed liner, and we even have some additional power back here in 2 different outlets. So we have a 3-prong 120 volt 400 watt. We have a 12 volt 180 watt cigarette lighter style, and we have some tie downs and various things around in the back here, which is very nice. We do have some nifty features on the tailgate. We've got measurements for telling how big your fish is, and then if you want to do some woodworking back here, you've got a place to do some clamps. But yeah, I wouldn't use these measurements for doing any woodworking. Otherwise, it is a fairly simple bed, and it is on the compact side. But again, here in Texas, so many people use their pickup trucks for family vehicles that happen to have beds versus a truck that happens to be a family vehicle. So if that's why you're buying a truck, this one actually does a pretty good job for it. From purely a me sitting in all of them perspective, this and Honda Ridgeline are the best back seats in the segment. And a lot of people don't consider the Honda Ridgeline truly in the segment because it's an SUV.
That's a truck.
Yeah. It's a unibody versus body on frame like this. So of the body on frame midsize pickup trucks, this has got the best back seat. But it being a single piece, we can't get underneath it with the Tucker's car seat in place. The installation, even after the cameras went off, I wrestled with it for a long time, trying to get it truly snug down. I do not like it and would not recommend this for anyone with child seats where you're wanting to secure that top tether. It's just, it's so frustrating. So frustrating. But other than that, it's a roomy back seat for adults.
Yeah.
I liked it. Thoughts from you behind the wheel there. You've got a full digital screen there. Ford's really leaning into all of that. But it's pretty much just like the Lightning that we just got out of.
Yeah.
It's a baby F-150 in here, but what are your thoughts actually being behind the wheel? What's your visibility like? Things like that.
Yeah, I mean, the visibility has been, typical of a truck. You've got a little window in the back. But other than that, like the windows on the side are really big. So that hasn't been a problem. Huge. The mirrors are really big, but not obstructively big like some truck mirrors are.
Yep.
And then I haven't really had a hard time with the pillar either.
Yep.
It doesn't, it's pretty narrow where you need it to be.
I've got to ask, since you bring up the pillar, I've got a handle here. You've got no handles anywhere over there. How is it getting in and out?
I haven't had any troubles getting in and out.
Because we have the side steps. All right.
So that's nice. There is no head-up display.
No, but again,
but there are 3-person memory seats.
Yeah, and without the head-up display, you do have the full digital screen. So that's nice.
I think they went really fun.
We'll find them later.
I do have the digital screen, and it is nice and big, and there's not a ton on it. I'm sure you can change where things are located a little bit. There's not a ton on it, so it's not hard to find like what you need.
Very easy to glance.
Yeah, to glance down and see what you need. So no button overload. I know what all the buttons do. There are buttons for certain things, which I like.
Yeah.
So that's good.
We've got dual zone climate with redundant physical controls, but also digital controls, which is nice. I had to ask you about the gear selector.
Yeah.
I have strong opinions.
You do. I don't think mine are as strong of an opinion as yours. Hating it, but I don't like these plus and minus buttons being on the side because it makes me feel like those are the buttons I need to press to pull it back, but it's actually a button up here at the front.
You have to grab it like this versus like, I don't know.
I don't know.
My brain hasn't comprehended it yet.
If you're getting a truck, I want it.
Yeah, same. 100%. And then the engine start button is in a weird place because we learned at Camp Ranger some trims actually have a physical key that you still have to crank, which is interesting in 2025.
I think that's kind of a Ford thing, though.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So there is that. But then we have, in our particular model, the turbocharged V6, which we will talk about here momentarily. But as we are turning on to the historic brick streets of downtown Tyler, Texas, we can talk about the ride. Tucker, how's your wobbly head back there?
It's wobbly.
It's a truck. Holly, what do you think? Here's a volley. That's the biggest one.
That wasn't too bad.
No.
The big bump wasn't too bad. But I do feel like I'm feeling every one of these bricks.
Yeah, it's a truck. And this one being the FX4 is more off-road focused. So it has the off-road suspension in this one. But yeah, it's a truck. You're buying a truck, rides like a truck. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
But it's also not, say, a Range Rover either. For instance. But yeah, it's pretty nice. And then for off-road or on-road, you've got 360 cameras in this one. Though the Ford lawyers have chimed in, you go too fast, they go away, unless you are in the off-road mode, which does kind of limit your speed anyway. But there's that. Okay, the engine. I talked about the turbocharged V6 engine in this.
Yes.
Not many V6s left in the segment. What has been your impression of the power delivery of this one?
No, it's been fun.
Yeah, it doesn't feel big, heavy, bulky,
Oh, no.
slow.
No.
No, dirt.
No, dirt. No, it's been just fine. Now I have really only driven it bopping around town. I haven't gotten like up on the highway or anything like that, but it's been perfect for everything that I've needed it for.
It's been quick to respond. Like,
To respond.
you press the throttle and it's like, okay, we're going.
We're going now. Yeah.
It's got 10-speed automatic that seems perfectly ready to let you go. It doesn't like hesitate or stutter or anything. It's been perfectly fun in my time with it. It seems like yours as well.
Yep. It doesn't feel like a beast to park, which is nice because a lot of the parking I do is like in downtown small spaces or parking garage. So that's nice. And the steering wheel is, I would say, a little bit on the looser side.
Okay.
It does not feel heavy to turn like some trucks do.
All right. We do have some drive modes and stuff down here, but generally speaking, we've just left it in 2 high, driving it around the road. I will note, I drove this in the rain, automatic wipers, which was nice. Interestingly, though, no automatic 4-wheel drive. Colorado's got it, where you can just put it in auto. If it senses wheel slip, it'll send power to the front wheels, but you've actually got to select 2 high, 4 low, right here. So we actually got the real window sticker here on this one, rated at 19 city, 23 highway, 20 combined. And this isn't really a fair comparison because you and I just got out of the AEV Bison version of the Colorado ZR2, which had 16, 16, 16, but it was also riding on 35-inch tall tires. But I would say that this one is doing a fair job at 17.2 in our mixed 123 miles of driving, which includes me taking it off-road, which includes me waiting in the school pickup line for him. So I'd say
not too bad.
That's decent for
a truck. Yeah.
What we have here. But I will remind you before I hand this back to Tucker, this is officially a 2024 model. I have priced out the 25s. It is, as near as makes no difference, rounding errors above this. Like, it's small increment of increase due to inflation.
Okay.
So we are going to give 2024 pricing, but 25 pricing is very close.
And what is this trim level?
This is the Lariat with it, which is the top trim, unless you go with the Raptor version, which is kind of its own beast.
Okay.
And then we have the FX4 off-road package added on top of that, which you don't have to get, but...
Okay. So I'm going to say 52.
54.375.
Yeah.
I was pretty close.
So now knowing the price, some of those things you said are kind of price dependent. What are your final thoughts on this?
I would like to see it closer to 52, but I don't think 54 is bad.
No.
If you're wanting a truck. If you're wanting a truck that looks like a truck.
Yes. You and I had spent some time in a 2023 GMC Canyon AT4, which would be the most closely rivaling of this. Premium red paint, off-road ready, luxurious interior. That one was $50,000, but we limited about some of the build quality stuff, which I don't really see here in this one.
No, this is built really nice.
Yeah.
It drives really nice. It's
so,
comfortable.
It's $4,000 more, but I feel like it's better packaging. The back seat's more useful.
More comfortable.
You've got a V6 that is peppy and fuel efficient. I don't know. I just feel like this is the best in the segment.
Oh, you're saying the best in the segment.
Yeah, I really think so. I mean,
I'd say it's the worst in the segment because I have barely no room back here.
That's just
part of this being in the segment.
yeah. But I would say this takes my vote as best midsize pickup truck in the segment.
All right. And on that note,
if you want to see more from Holly, from Tucker, you can find them on social media. Holly is on Facebook and Instagram at Female Consumer. Tucker has his own YouTube channel at Tucker's Talk. You can find all things GT Garage Talk at GT Garage Talk. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it, all at GT Garage Talk. Or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. Links to everything from there. But as for us, we're going to ride off into the sunset in the best in the segment, 2024-25 Ford Ranger Lariat FX4. And until next time, Gearheads.
Bye.
Bye.